worth visiting, and you get a sense of the Art Deco history of the place. But if you want to see any of those event spaces or that urban park, you have to rent it. So if you rent that urban park, let me know. Bring my friends and a six-pack, we'll hang out. This is the only building I recommend you look up online. Easy to remember. Later on, do a search for the Old Main Post Office. The Old Main Post Office, Chicago. It'll pop right up. Go to their event spaces page. For each event space in that urban park, they have a point-and-click tour you can do, like a Google Street Map. And you'll just see how beautiful that building is on the inside. We're on the South Branch, where it tends to be a little breezier and a little cooler, which is great on days like today. And it's here where it's appropriate to tell you about the most significant event in the history of Chicago. I'm talking about the Great Chicago Fire, because it started 6 blocks west of here on DeKoven Street, the night of October 8, 1871, at Mrs. Catherine O'Leary's barn. It was a Sunday, 9 o'clock at night. We know what time the fire started. Give you an idea of what was happening in Chicago at the time. Chicago had been suffering a severe drought from the beginning of July till the night of the fire. 3 months later, no rain at all had fallen on the city. It's very dry, warm conditions. Also, it's 1871. Wood is a cheap building material, so yeah. Buildings, barns, houses, sidewalks, and streets, all made out of wood. Recipe for disaster. The fire department was real busy putting out a lot of smaller fires. It got so bad, the city put lookouts in towers around the city to keep an eye out, and a lookout saw Mrs. O'Leary's barn go up in flames, immediately sent a fire brigade to the wrong address. Took them 45 minutes to get there. And by then, game over. Not only was everything super dry and very flammable, there were 30 miles per hour winds coming in from the southwest. Chicago's a windy city. It's a little breezy right now. 30 miles per hour wind is crazy strong, powerful wind. It was feeding the fire and blowing sparks and flames onto the river. And you might think, oh, that's okay, water, fire, they don't get along. Water usually wins. Fire will stay over there. Let me tell you about that river in 1871. Remember the meat packing industry. On the south side, they were dumping all their waste into the water, animal waste, and it was going this way. If you lived along the river, you were throwing all your garbage into the water. Heavily trafficked shipping lane, they were polluting with their fuel and whatever they felt like throwing overboard. So when sparks and flames hit the water, the river caught fire. Our flaming river, combined with those 30 miles per hour winds, created fire tornadoes. Fire tornadoes went into downtown, cut a path of destruction a mile wide and over 4 miles long north of the Wrigley Building. Fire burned for 30 straight hours. Didn't go out till it started to rain, but by then, nearly 18,000 buildings destroyed. 100,000 people were homeless, and 300 people lost their lives. It was devastating. People were upset. They were angry. They wanted someone to blame for all this. City sent investigators to Mrs. O'Leary's barn. They confirmed that is where the fire started. They cleared Mrs. O'Leary and her family of having anything to do with it because they're farmers. 9 o'clock at night on a Sunday, especially in 1871, they were in bed. They were sleeping. They could prove it. Doesn't matter. People are people. And a journalist, they all wanted to blame somebody. A journalist published a story claiming Mrs. O'Leary was in her barn that night milking a cow at 9 o'clock at night on a Sunday, and the cow kicked over an oil lamp. And that's what started the Great Chicago Fire. Everybody loved that story. It's persisted for generations. If you're from America, you probably have heard that story. I grew up believing it. And even though, and this is absolutely true, shortly after he published it, the journalist confessed. He came out and said, hey, I made it all up. I lied about the cow. That's right. It was fake moves.
No.
Did you all just moo at me? That's like a collective moo right back at me. #1 tour in America, people. You don't get puns like that at the Grand Canyon. True story. It is a true story, though, sadly. We're going to be turning the boat around here on the South Branch. Another opportunity to stretch your legs, visit Jason and Elise at the bar, use the restroom, ask me any questions you might have, but mainly check out the view of downtown from the South Branch. And I'll get back on the mic after we turn the boat around.